10 minutes of your time where we sit down with some of your favorite people of all industries and get to know them for 10 minutes. That's right, just 10 minutes. I'm your host, Josh Padgett. My special guest today is Ryan Satin.
Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you, man. Thanks for coming in and giving us 10 minutes of your time.
Yeah, glad to be here. It's only 10 minutes, not that long. So
10 minutes. Clock's ticking. So basically, anyone who's watching, if you already know Ryan or you're a fan of his, you're big on Twitter. You made a huge splash over at TMZ. You were senior producer over there, right?
I was, yeah, former TMZ senior producer. I started at the bottom as a PA and over 6 years worked my way up to close to the top, I guess.
Nice. How does someone get a gig at a news cycle like that?
You know, I grew up kind of in the entertainment industry. My dad has his own production company. So, as soon as I could, I started working in TV. And one of my coworkers got a job at TMZ. And I started just bugging him for a chance to kind of get my foot in the door. So I got a job as a PA over there, just getting people coffee, doing everyone's runs, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
The grunt work. And then I saw that the news desk people. I was not really a big news person before that. I followed news, but I wasn't like a reporter. But I saw that the people on the news desk moved up very quickly if they knew what they were doing. So I got an opportunity there, and I just kind of took the ball and ran with it.
And what was the time frame here? How long?
Let's see. I was a PA for about 6 months, 8 months, something like that. And then I was a PA on the news desk at TMZ for about, another year, something like that. And then during that time, they were very much, they pushed for us to take some sort of niche and take the ball and run with that sort of niche and, do your best at reporting on as many things as possible. And I was always a big wrestling fan, so I just started doing lots of wrestling. Yeah, as
Clearly.
You can see by my office, I was always a big wrestling fan, so I...
if my office was decorated like this, I wouldn't be able to concentrate. I'd be playing with these guys all the time.
Well, I do take play breaks once in a while. That's why I'm in here away from my girlfriend and stuff, so no one can really see me when I do it.
Hey, you know what? And that gives us all a lot of confidence, man, out there. All you marks out there in the world, you can have a girlfriend and play with your toys, too.
You definitely can, as long as you hide it away from everybody in an office.
I get my own room, all right? I get my own room, for God's sake.
I used to put them all on my office desk, but I don't have that right now, so I brought it into my own office.
Right now, so the wrestling thing, TMZ didn't always cover wrestling.
I mean, they did stuff here and there, but definitely, I think I kind of helped bring it to a bigger level. I started doing more and more stories on wrestling. Honestly, it was an excuse to talk to all my favorite wrestlers and reach out to them for different things. And, once I made friends with this person, I helped make friends with that person, and more stories started to pour in. And I think it helped TMZ become kind of a force in wrestling reporting.
For sure, man. It's huge now. It's a big deal to them.
They definitely, I recently stopped working at TMZ, but they're still taking the ball and running with themselves, doing their own wrestling stories, and I'm glad that I was able to leave my mark there and that they're still continuing on with it.
Yeah, for sure. And did it take a lot of convincing to them for you to start?
Initially I think they thought that it was kind of a niche thing, that not as many people cared about wrestling, but then the more I pushed for it, the more stories that we got to put on the website, they slowly started to see that it was something that does have a big market, especially online. Wrestling has a huge online presence. There's 5,000 wrestling websites that are all reporting wrestling news, and it's this big link trading thing where they're all pretty good about crediting each other and stuff like that. And in social media now, everyone's kind of clicking wrestling stories, and they've become a popular thing, and I think TMZ helped elevate them into the mainstream a little bit while I was there.
Right. It for sure. Like every Monday night, we hear Michael Cole saying something's trending right now. Like our show's trending all the time, and it's
absolutely.
And they were like one of the first companies to really embrace Twitter like that. Entertainment company.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now as a wrestling fan, we've seen the little hashtag in the corner for all the matches for years now. It feels like. But now you watch other TV shows, and they're all kind of doing the same thing. You see in the corner, hashtag scandal, ABC or something,
Sure.
Every show you watch has like a little hashtag in the corner, and I feel like WWE was very ahead of that trend.
They were at the forefront of that, for sure. And so, let's talk about WWE right now. What are your thoughts with the product right now?
There's things I like, there's things that I don't like. Right now I'm very high on Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, I watched him in PWG for so long, so He's got a special place in my heart. So I'm a big fan of what he's had going on. I mean, I know a lot of people online were kind of bummed about Kevin Owens losing to John Cena and tapping out and everything like that, but I wasn't as bummed as everyone else was about it.
I mean, who hasn't been tapped out by John Cena?
Yeah, I mean, John Cena is the face of the company. He has been. That's like being mad because Hulk Hogan beat someone back in the day that was beloved. I mean, I know people were, but I mean, the fact that he got to debut beating John Cena, it's like way bigger than anyone else is an accomplishment that anyone else has gotten in a long time.
And he's in the same company as Brock Lesnar.
Absolutely.
Brock Lesnar beat Cena. He also lost to Cena.
Absolutely.
You know, so
you gotta give and you gotta take a little bit. And now it looks like we're getting Kevin Owens versus Cesaro, which I mean everyone on the internet should be happy about.
Right. I think that was a great move by the company. They're like, look, we're giving your guy the big push, Cesaro. You know, you've been clamoring for him for years, right?
Yeah, and now we'll let him fight your other golden boy that you guys love so much.
So it's we're getting some great wrestling.
I like that. And let's see what else I mean, I love Brock Lesnar. I loved that Beast in the East special. That I know it was a little bit ago already.
Him and Kofi.
That was awesome. That whole pay-per-view was awesome. Or live event, whatever they want to call it, since it was on the network. And network special.
It was a network special. They shot it very differently than they normally do. I mean,
Cole announcing was cool. I like that he was calling other companies out and calling good matches and calling all the moves. It was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. And why do you think WWE does that differently on Monday nights?
I just think there's more casual fans that have to watch on Monday nights, and so since there's more casual fans tune in, less of them care about that. You know, I like to call my dad a lot and ask what his opinion is on stuff because he's not someone that talks on the internet. Like he's someone that is represents that people that the person that they go for. You know, the casual viewer, and sometimes he'll hate people that are like the biggest person on the internet. And I'll grill his mind about why and what he doesn't like about them. So I kind of get a better understanding of why they do certain things. You know, my dad's a different target audience than they're normally going for. So I don't know. It's kind of fun to listen to his opinion on things.
Yeah, and I did that with my brother as well. Like he grew up in my house, so he knew like every Monday Night Wars. I was watching it all the time. He's like, oh, and my dad grew up on Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And like I never understood how big a deal Ric Flair was because he was on WCW. It was NWO was ruling there, and it was like Four Horsemen weren't doing anything. But my dad would only come out, and my brother would only come out when like Stone Cold or The Rock were on. They're like, oh, that's legit stuff right there. Like to get guys like that. And so like recently my brother watches it and he sees Bray Wyatt out there, and he goes, I don't know who that guy is. That fat ass, but he is legit. Somebody needs to pay that guy. And all he was doing was another promo that we hear every Monday, but a casual person walks by and goes, who is that guy? Oh my God. Right? And it's interesting because WWE has to do that, right? They have to straddle. You got to keep the marks happy. You got to keep all the real hardcore fans that are paying for the subscriptions.
Yep.
But then you also got to be able to get the viewers in.
That's the same reason I watch my girlfriend, because she also has another opinion. You know, it's hard to. It's a tough job. It's got to be a tough job for them to try and make, even though they have 3 hours to try and please everybody. It's got to be so difficult to just cater to each market all in one television show. It's a tough job, but I'm glad they do it.
For sure. Now, who else out there is doing a great job besides WWE? Who's doing the second best job?
The second best job. Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, I watch PWG in person, live in Reseda, and it's my personal favorite second. I don't know if they're doing better than some of the people that are on TV, because obviously these other companies are on TV. But I just personally love the PWG shows. I mean, the one I went to this weekend, the main event was the Young Bucks versus Angelico and Jack Evans, and it was just so much fun to watch.
Right.
They're flying all over the place. They're flying towards you. I mean, my whole area, I guess it doesn't sound fun, but my whole area on the floor was just covered in beer because they had been flying out and pitchers are getting knocked over. And, even before the show, they basically said that because of the actions of the show before, none of like the Young Bucks and Roderick Strong and Super Dragon weren't going to be reprimanded whatsoever from what happened, because they can't afford to lose them. So that if you get injured or something along those lines in the crowd, that there's nothing they're going to do about it. You might get injured tonight. That added a whole new element. It was awesome. I thought I was going to die when I was there.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, it's the best thing. So PWG definitely close second.
Get the DVDs. They're awesome.
Get them. Are they getting a TV deal?
Probably not. No.
Not anytime soon. Hey, you know what? 10 minutes are up already, Ryan. Holy crap.
Fast.
We'll look for part 2 at some point in time. Ryan,
Hopefully.
thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so
in today,
much.
man.